My opinion on relationships part 3. I know in the last video I said that there wasn't going to be another part, but most of my friends who watched the video said that they really enjoyed them a lot. So I decided to brainstorm a bit more about how I feel about this topic, and I will be discussing my thoughts. My first opinion, work ethic. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines the term work ethic as a set of values centered on the importance of doing work and reflected especially in a desire or determination to work hard. To elaborate, work ethic basically defines someone who is not lazy and does their work with purpose and ambition. I can speak for all of us that at some point of our lives we've procrastinated work to doom scroll on our phones or simply just get distracted by some other task. In life, this is completely normal, but developing a habit of doing so can lead to problems that can affect your relationship badly. Relationships as a whole require a lot of effort, energy, and time, but the key principle I'm going to dial in on is effort. Comparing the term work ethic and the word effort, they basically go hand in hand with each other, meaning the same thing. So what I'm saying is, in order to have a strong, healthy relationship, work ethic has to be a trait you or your partner has. An example of this, imagine you and someone get together and you put in so much effort in settling arguments, making sure they're happy, and balancing time between your relationship and your social life. While your partner barely puts any effort into resolving arguments between you two, instead of socializing with you, doom scrolls on their phone for hours, and in general just lazy in providing the essentials in a relationship. This scenario creates a one-sided relationship where one partner has a strong work ethic towards the relationship, while the other partner does not and is lazy. In the end, it results in not working out at all, causing immense pain to both individuals. So I believe the importance of finding someone with a good work ethic is critical to developing a strong, healthy relationship. I also believe that people who display this trait can be associated with excellent grades and are in a sport or extracurricular for an extended amount of years with an above average level of skill. But before I move on, you also need to have that trait yourself, as your relationship would be just like my example I provided, but switched where you're the lazy one and your partner is the one who does all the work instead of the other way around. My second opinion, social media. I've mentioned the use of Snapchat and discussed a little bit about social media in the second my opinion on relationships video, but I'd like to go more in depth about the topic. Anyways, like I said, in the previous video, social media killed romance. I'm sure you've heard that phrase everywhere, and sadly it's very true. Modern dating is like sight reading an extreme demon. You'll never know when a swingcopter portal appears. Social media has created a plethora of quote-unquote terms that are basically stereotypes on how dating should work. An example of this is the 3-month rule. David Chambers, a dating mentor, defines the 3-month rule as a time to determine whether or not that person is the one for you. And after that period of time, you'd move on to someone else if that person does not suffice. Another example is love bombing, which is the act of manipulating someone by showering them with attention and love in the pursuit of emotional gain. What I mean by emotional gain is like seeking attention from the individual being love bombed in order to boost your status. All these rules and terms associated with modern dating are actively contributing to the downfall of romance. Think about how long your parents or grandparents have been together. The reason for this is the fact that throughout the 1960s through 1990s, social media didn't exist. It had been a much simpler time. And I'm not saying all parents and grandparents' relationships last forever, as I've seen some cases where it doesn't work out despite how long they've been with each other. But comparing dating and cheating throughout the 1980s and onward, a rising trend of cheating has grown. To further support my claim, bedbible.com, a website specializing in surveying populations on gender, relationships, and social interactions consisting of researchers with anthropology and sexology backgrounds, provides a data set of statistics on infidelity rates. Data shows that in 1960s, cheating on any partner in an individual's life, not their current partner, had been at an all-time low of 5%, whereas in 2023, the number had risen to a staggering 23%. Comparing cheating gender-wise, the study provided that for men, the highest rate of cheating was 31% in 2012 and 2023, and the highest for women being 17% in 2023. Need I say more about how social media killed modern romance? By the way, all cited sources will be linked in the description. My third opinion is talking about the future with your partner. Don't get me wrong, dreaming about the future of you and your partner in life is an exciting thought, but in some cases it can overwhelm them into doubting their relationship. Instances such as marriage, children, or sexual intercourse can indefinitely scare you or your partner, as it is an enormous shift in someone's life. Like I mentioned in the previous videos, the human brain isn't fully developed until the age of 25, meaning that constant changes occur in the preference and personality of someone. So discussing these life-changing future plans like marriage with your partner while both of you are still in school and maturing as individuals is not a smart idea. But if you both are at a stage of emotional maturity, being together like 3 or 4 plus years, and of course being above the age of 18, then future plans of marriage, children, etc. can be discussed accordingly. The reason why this is okay is the fact that couples who are together 3 or 4 plus years without breaking up have developed a sense of longevity within their relationships. They've established the ability to stay with each other by all means and are capable of doing so if tested by time. This stage of a relationship is what we all desire and strive for, but is extremely hard to create. My fourth and final opinion is regarding parental influence. During the early stages of life, a child's mind is very susceptible to influence, and in all cases, they look up to their parental figures for values and how to portray themselves. If you scrolled around social media recently, I'm sure you've seen videos of children ranging from the ages 5 to 10 throwing complete temper tantrums in public stores. And I'm sure you've thought to yourself, why are they acting that way? That's very unacceptable. And it's true that behavior is not acceptable by any means. But you can't fully blame the child for acting that way because it's wholeheartedly the parents' fault for letting their child end up that way. What I mean by this is the lack of parenting when it comes to discipline when the child portrays poor behavior. Comparing parental influence to long-term dating reveals a major underlying problem. The absence of parental influence in the scene of discipline and values for a child greatly determines how they would treat their future partners. An example of this is to imagine a couple having a child, and when they are born, the parents constantly fight, argue, and treat one another horribly. This creates a common belief to the child that treating someone of the opposite gender badly is okay. Another instance of this is to imagine that same family going out to eat, and the parents portray horrible etiquette to employees and customers around, such as being loud, being very messy, not saying thank you, and letting their child cry loudly and ignoring them. So basically, just being obnoxious. This behavior affirms to the child that it is okay to act this way and towards others in public, which greatly impacts their personality in the future. And when they grow up with these personality traits of being rude and obnoxious, the relationship between their future partner becomes a nightmare. Think of it like this: getting with someone who's always rude to everyone and has a bad public etiquette. You'd see why this is a problem, as that behavior towards others can most certainly be directed towards you in the long run, causing many disagreements. With no set-in-stone values on how to treat people well, making them a partner in a relationship would fail miserably due to their lack of etiquette and values of treating others. That is why it is very important to teach values to children young in order to set a strong foundation on how to respect others, so they can build upon that belief. I myself am very lucky to have these traits, as my elementary school hammered down these values such as respect and kindness, etc. to everyone, and I'm very thankful for my elementary school for doing so. Wow, that wraps up the My Opinions on Relationships series. This will most likely be the last one I make, maybe. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I really do hope this helped you in any way in your endeavors in life. I've learned a lot from my past relationships and would love to help everyone I can deal with the same problems I experienced. If you have any comments on anything I mentioned in the video, discuss them in the comment section down below, as I will most likely reply. And thank you all so much for watching, and see you next time.